Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve. I don't know if I'm going to say dive or delve, and I meant delve, where we delve into the world of daytime television, and we do a few reality shows on the side. And one of the reality shows that we're doing is Jackson Brittany. Before we get into that, though, I dyed my hair today. As you can see, it's a little bit darker. So I just went a couple shades darker. We'll see. We'll see if it lasts. Maybe not. I might go back to blonde. Who knows? But I don't know. I'm kind of digging it a little bit. Anyways, okay. So Jackson Brittany. So here's the thing about Jackson Brittany. Um, Jax. You know, here's the thing about Jax. We've watched him on Vanderpump Rules for years, right? And he didn't strike us as being, or me at least, he never struck me as being the brightest bulb in the box, right? But this series with him by himself, he's actually the sane voice of reason in the show, right? Who knew? Who knew that Jax Taylor would be the smart one, and he is pretty fucking smart on this show. But that makes me wonder, maybe he's not as dumb as he plays on Vanderpump Rules. Maybe he just is kind of hyping that aspect of his personality up, but he's really not stupid. Maybe that's just like a shtick, like maybe he's really seriously, he's very smart. I mean, if you ask Stassi, she would probably be like, "Oh, he's a fucking sociopath," blah blah blah. But I don't think he's malicious. I don't know. I just think he's a man who is a straight man and he likes to get his, penis wet. So, you know what I mean? Like, that was probably the root cause of a lot of the trouble that he got into back in the day. But things have changed and he's very smart now. So here's the deal. So he is in Kentucky with Brittany, right? And he's taken her to her hometown and they went to the main street and, it is very small town, right? And she's like, I miss this place. I love so, he's kind of seeing that spark come back to Brittany. Because I just think she was a little homesick, really. I don't think that there's anything wrong with him trying to find out what's wrong with her. But here's the unfortunate bit. It got back to Brittany that he was asking everybody except her what was wrong with her. And because he did talk to her mom about her, he did talk to her dad, and he talked to her best friend. And of course, they all went right to Brittany. And the thing about it is, I get talking to the parents about it. Like, I get that because you don't know if she really is depressed or if that's just a seasonal thing or, who knows what's going on, but that's, that could be normal. You don't know until you ask, right? And maybe he didn't want to offend her by asking, so he thought he would ask her parents because he feels close enough to her parents that they would be honest with him. So but then he kind of opened his mouth to her best friend. And yes, everyone had been drinking, but that is no excuse. Okay? Alcohol is no excuse. So, okay, so then what happens is they take Jax to church. Now, Jax is from Michigan, and they, he was brought up in the church. He was raised in the church, and he went to church youth group and all that stuff, but it was nothing like a Southern church. Right? So they went to a Pentecostal church, and it wasn't the actual Pentecostal church. It was a non-denominational but quasi-Pentecostal. It was kind of like the Kmart version of Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? So they go, and people are lively, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with people being lively. That's fine. If you want to say hallelujah, amen, feel the spirit, or even stand up, that's fine. Whatever. If I was Jax, I'd be like, okay, that's just entertaining. That's fine. That's great. I might not feel the spirit, but at least, I'm not going to, judge it. However, And he even has said on Twitter after the fact, he's like, I felt bad for the pastor's daughter because she had a lot of stuff to say that wasn't being heard, because there's people standing up in the aisles, including this 15-year-old boy who started, talking in tongues. But here's the thing about talking in tongues. Are you really talking in tongues? Because it just sounds like a lot of nonsense to me. I don't know. Maybe because I've studied linguistics, I know how a language is formed. And la, 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 does not sound like a language to me. It just sounds like you're full of bullshit. But that's just my opinion. That's what I think, right? I don't necessarily think that he would look like a demon. Like, Jax was a little freaked out by that. He's like, that kid was a demon. Okay, so I don't know if he looks like a demon. He looks like he's full of bullshit, but I don't think he looks like a demon, right? However, having said that, everyone got so offended. Jax, don't say that. That's someone's child. And blah. And I'm going, oh my God, are you kidding me? First of all, that kid was like 15 years old. So the whole he's a child, that should be used sparingly. I don't think, but I don't think he was a demon, but I definitely don't think, if demon is the worst thing you've ever been called, good luck, congratulations, because I've been called a lot worse than that at a lot younger age than that. So that is nothing. That is, I don't know why, but I don't understand why they're making a big deal. Now, he got through church, and Brittany's mom was like, what'd you think? And he was like, I won't be coming back here. That got some snaps from me. That was pretty fucking funny. Yeah, I won't be coming back here. He's like, I don't have a problem with the church, and I don't have a problem, if we have children, to bring our kids to church. I don't have a problem with that. That is not, but not this church, not this kind of church. And I got to give Brittany's mother credit, actually, because she was like, you know what? That's fine. That's good. That's great. As long as you, have your relationship with God, whatever. I'm sweating. I'm schwitzing a little bit because it's really hot in here. Whenever I'm home in Glendale and I do this show, I start to sweat because there's no air conditioning in my room, so it is very hot. Excuse me. Okay. So next week, also, so we had this, so they had this party or whatever, or they went to a bar or something or whatever, right? And then Brittany's ex-boyfriend shows up. And he's this big burly black guy, right? Now, kudos to you, Brittany. I didn't even know. Okay, you go, girl, right? And that, in a way, that's kind of great. Because, being that she's from such a rural community in the South, that, in my opinion, has a little ways to go in terms of a lot of stuff. At least in terms of the, in terms of miscegenation, they're on board. They're okay with that. And that, it's never an issue. It's never an issue that Brittany dated a black guy. It's never an issue that her sister has a black child. I think he's black. He looks black to me, but, that's never an issue. No one cares. And that's cool. That is fucking cool. That's great. I think that's awesome. I think it's wonderful. So the guy shows up. Now, when they had previews for this episode, they kind of made it sound like they kind of cut Brittany's words around. So it's not, they made it sound like she was living with this guy in Las Vegas, and then she met Jax and then moved to LA. And I was thinking, God, Brittany lived in Vegas? I didn't even know Brittany lived in Vegas. Shit, I've never seen her. Now, granted, I haven't seen every single person that lives in that town, but I'm just saying, I would have thought I would have at least run into her if she lived out here. But then it turns out, so the way the timeline works in my head, so I could even be wrong with this, but the way it was explained in the actual episode, she was dating this guy, and here in Kentucky. They were in Kentucky together. And then she goes to Vegas on a trip, And so Jax was also there on a trip, and that's where he meets her. And then she leaves Kentucky and goes to Los Angeles to live with Jax. That's how I think it happened. I don't know if that's how it happened or not, because there's still a little kind of shady on the whole timeline thing, but I think that's how it was, right? Now, they're still friends, which is good. That's good that they're still friends. It's good to be friends with your exes. I think that's wonderful. But Jax is like, I don't want any problems. He's like, no, there's not going to be any problems, you know. And it was actually pretty civilized, actually. So I got to give them credit. Okay, anyways. Next week's episode is going to be crazy because I don't know if so what happened was the parents have a stern talking to with Jax. I don't know how well it's going to go. I don't know how many more episodes there are in the show, and it kind of makes me nervous because next week, first of all, I'm doing Dancing for Relevancy on Wednesday because it starts on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So I'm definitely down for that. So I'm doing it on Wednesday, period, the end of it. Real Housewives of Auckland is still on, and I'm doing that till the very end. So we're doing the Housewives of Auckland. And I'm torn between the Thursday program being Jackson Brittany or Below Deck. Below Deck just started and Jackson Brittany's ending. So you're thinking, okay, well, I could do Jackson Brittany and then I'll do Below Deck afterwards. I could just wait a week on Below Deck. But Below Deck is really good. It really is. I have to say, Below Deck might be my favorite non-housewife show on Bravo. It's pretty fucking good because first of all, the episode was dramatic, and then not just that, but then it spilled over into Twitter. Now that is something we expect normally from Below Deck Med, but this time it's even Below Deck. So I fucking love it. I cannot wait. I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. We'll see what episode I do next Thursday. Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Jackson Brittany to talk about Vanderpump Rules Jackson Brittany Take Kentucky with me. Or you can also hashtag Days to talk Days of Our Lives, and I'll be doing that next. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Oh, and you can also hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your inbox every single day. Okay, thanks for logging on. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.